Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Peteman Reviews. Today we have the Triple Changer Specials. These are the Decepticon Triple Changers, of course, and we have the original G1 versions, or at least as near enough as one's worth having, and also some third-party releases. The third-party releases come respectively from Unique Toys, DX9 and Toy World, and these give updated, slightly more accurate triple change versions than the original toys did. Okay, so now we have a look at Octane in a bit closer for his truck form. Now, of all the various versions of Octane that have been released, even when they're called Tankor, and there's not actually that many versions of Octane that have been released, this is by far the best truck mode you have. It actually looks like a fuel tanker. You know, that's already beat all the other ones hands down. Yeah, it's got a little bit of issues. There's a little bit of gap in there. There's a little bit of gump under here and a little bit of gump under there. But when he's actually driving along, you don't really notice that. You've got the tanker element here. You've got the gun, which quite neatly stows away here. And looks like it could be a refueling nose as well. The rear looks quite good, though there are some start to be obvious concessions for the plane element of him. But the cab in particular is really detailed. When you look at the grille on there, it is fantastic, nice chrome effect. It's quite a big looking truck as well. It really works well. Yeah, just very, very impressive. Now, Unique Toys have done quite a nice job on the box. Now, it's obviously done in the style of a front part there is kind of done this in the style of the Platinum re-release, but when we look at the side, it's very much done in the original Transformer box style. You know, with Unique Toys made in the similar with the Unique Toys logo in the similar layout to the Transformers logo, and even the pictures on the box with the background and the squares, very similar to the original style. The back is not that dissimilar as well. Again, if you had bought this originally, you would have had a battle scene on there, but you've got some nice little instruction layouts there, little poses, and comparison with a certain red robot as well, a certain red Masterpiece style robot. So they've done very nice homage there to the original styling of Transformers 2. Even the name Fuel Supply Provider, fuel supply being another word for Octane, provider being another kind of word for Tankor. So they've kind of done a little bit of acknowledgement that the Universe release was officially called Tankor and the original release was called Octane. So, yeah, well done, Unique Toys. That's a nice little piece of detailing on there. Okay, so now we're going to transform him into his Jumbo Jet mode. Now, while he makes quite a nice sized truck, obviously the Jumbo Jet's going to be a little bit on the small side, bearing in mind it's not going to be that much bigger, you'd think, than the truck. But, you know, hey, Astra Train's shuttle mode is the same size as the train, so there's always concessions going on. Start by removing the gun. Won't need that. Probably not for a while, actually. So we'll just put that to one side. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the rear of the truck. So these bits come apart like that. Just rotate them out of the way, or even snap them off. No, don't snap them off. It's all ball joints. So in the event this happens, don't worry about it at all. Okay, so now that you've done that, this whole section here comes out. See, these are actually going to be the wings of the plane, so it's quite nicely worked how it joins. As you can see, you've got engines here, and then if you fold this up like that, you've got another engine. Same deal here, another engine. So pretty nifty. This folds down to produce another engine, and this part here as well will now rotate like so to produce more parts of the wing. There we go. Okay, so this is the actual nose of the jet in here. So you kind of need to get this out. Now the way to do that is it does all start to come apart. It's a little bit pedantic. Pedantic's not the right word at all, is it? A little bit tricky is the word I'm looking for. I think you need to pull it apart like that. So you pull it out, and then it should, with a little bit of manipulation, he says, come on, come apart. Do you know what? I'm just going to pull the wheel out here. even that's easier said than done, just so that I can move the whole lot up here, because it's a bit easier to then just take this apart. So it opens like that, and then you can see there's the front of the plane here, which should then pull up, or rather pull out. Once you pulled it out, these then slot back into place, and then that goes back in there, and then you just slide this back down. The reason this comes out here is for when it changes into robot mode. Okay, so that's our front of our jet, and you see he's got quite a cool landing gear there as well. We're almost there. No, we're not almost there at all. But it is quite a nifty bit how simple this is, and how well this now just goes straight from being a fuel tanker to being a jumbo jet. Front of the plane, back of the plane, front of the truck. We now need to start work on this. So take these wheels like that, get them out of the way. Now we're just going to see what I'm just going to do. See these chrome bits here, just move them up a little bit like that. Same deal here, because this will then all come down like that. Once that comes down, we now need to rotate these parts all the way around, back that way, so that this part can come out. So all the way back round like that, and this bit comes out here. These are going to form more engine. Well, these are actually the end of the plane here, but it all will link up over time. So this comes in part, if you remember, and then the whole lot here. I was talking rubbish. Yeah, and I'm not talking rubbish at all, actually. This is going to become the wings of the plane. These will go onto more engines here. And so you've got the wheels here, which do come out if you need to. You shouldn't need to, but you can do. Okay, so what will happen here is this all join together. You can see you've got the grey bit here to grey, and it goes over the top there. And it all snaps together. All snaps into place like that. And then you should end up with the silver element here. Actually, it probably makes sense just to make sure that that's in alignment with that engine, so the silver element here will then just snap into place. I need a little bit of encouragement. There we go. So you've got a nice firm connection all the way along, as you can see on that side as well. You've got a nice firm connection, except on this point. There we go. A nice firm connection all along there to produce quite a cool plane wing, really. So same on this side as well. Take this, so you've got it facing that way, and then so you need to make sure that that goes on top like that, and then make sure that you've got a nice connection on here, and snapped into place, and then just do a little bit, make sure the engines are in alignment. There we go. And you know, while we're here, we're going to just put down these wheels. Looking very good already, isn't it? Obviously we've still got the rear to deal with, but you kind of see how much we've already done and how easy that was. That makes a nice change, doesn't it? Okay, this is where things get a little bit less simple. The rear of the plane is always a little bit fun, because you've got bits like this to pop out, then got to move it all around. So what you're going to end up with is this bit's going to end up on top to be the wing part. This fuselage here is going to be on the outsides. So you can tell that straight away we're going to have to do some rotating and some rotating. And this is where you start to get bits just flying everywhere for it. So we've now done that bit of rotation for it. We're not there by a long way yet. See this part here, these are more tail fins. So, to get tail fins out, we just do that, and rotate like that. Same deal this side, that, rotate like that. You can see now how this is the fuselage element of it. This will go, so kind of need to end up that side. It won't rotate all the way, so you do need to just do a little bit of judicious moving around on there, checking. This does all come apart here. There's no real need for it to. For this mode, you will need that too, obviously, for robot mode, as this will become the feet. Right, while we're here, we want this tail fin bit out here. So, rotate it down and out, then rotate it round. Same again here, so this bit goes down, and then this bit comes out, and then that bit goes round again. So that's going to be the end of your plane. How have I got that to do that? By moving these up. Move that up and then there's enough room. Okay, so now everything, all the panels joints start to close in. You've got your classic peg and hole there. And then that's replicated again at the wing there and there. You start to join everything together again. Snapping it all in place as you go. This goes down, that goes down as well. I have a feeling I've messed this bit up slightly. I should have flipped it around, I think. Yeah. It's not a big problem because it's only the underside of the plane. However, for the purpose of completeness, we should probably go back. Okay, so what should happen here, and we might have to do a little bit of judicious moving, so we need to pull out this part of him. Why is that not coming out? Because I'm doing it that way. That you actually pull that out that way. Just to rotate that round, like so. And then obviously it goes back. Reason for doing that, you can't put it back. Reason for doing this, it just puts that a bit closer in, because here we are. You see, that's where it should be, and that's where I had it too far up. So that was the only reason for doing that. Easy to miss, and I believe I missed it when I first transformed it as well, mainly because you sit there going, what? Why would I want to move it? Actually, to be honest, I didn't even notice that was needed to be moving. But we notice now. So, same deal this side, you need to unhook this bit, which is being a bit of a pain to unhook at the moment. I'm trying to hook that end, it unhooks this end. Move this, so that, rotate that up, that goes out like that. We can now, see there's a rotating bit here. This rotates up like that. Everything starts to hook back again, so that goes there, that goes back down, and then you plug that together again, and then this plugs in here. Yeah, it's a bit of a faff just because to miss out. That said, it's quite easy to fix. It's just a bit of a faff. So you see, these are now much closer in. Rather than sticking out here, they now form effectively one part of the bodywork, so it does look a lot nicer. Okay, make sure everything's closed up together, and we're there. We are done. We have transformed him into 747 mode. How much easier was that than certain other Transformers we've been doing? It's just such a relief to have something that actually changes and looks really good as well. It's a superb model. It truly is. I mean, it looks just like a plane. I know that's a fairly obvious thing to say, but how rare is it to have something that actually looks like it's supposed to? Particularly a plane. I mean, this is so much better than the original Octane. Okay, the plane mode was the best of the original Octane, don't get me wrong, but this is just brilliant. It actually looks like a proper 747. Obviously, you have to allow for scale, because it's not that much bigger than the truck. However, if you don't have anything to compare it with, it's perfectly proportioned. Great wings, they really do sell it, and the fuselage is nice and detailed. It just looks fantastic, doesn't it? You know, you can imagine that coming along, and you wouldn't fault it. You would think it's a model rather than a transformer, as in a model of an aircraft rather than a transformer that's, let's face it, has had to make certain concessions in order to make this aircraft, because it has to be both a robot and a tanker as well. You wouldn't know it to look at that. We compare him with the original, well, not the original, but the Universe version. Universe version's pretty decent, it has to be said. Scale-wise, I don't know, is a 747 larger than a C-130 Hercules? Assuming it is, they scale pretty well. Even if it isn't, they still actually scale pretty well. Yeah, they look good. They look really, really good. So I think it has to be said that's one of Octane's best modes. The tanker was a really, really good mode as well. I think the plane is even better, and it really works for me. Now you do still have this hole at the top there, so we can take his gun that we had before here. Obviously it's not going to be a fueler now, but you can put it in the top if you wish and make it actually into a gun as well. So you even have the option of arming the plane as well, which is a nice touch. Okay, so let's take away this version of Octane, or Tanker I should say, and what we'll now do is we'll transform him to his robot mode and then do some comparisons. Okay, so let's transform Octane to his robot mode. So let's take away the fuel gun there because we don't need it for the moment. Start off with the legs and the feet. As is common on most occasions, it's a lot easier to do it this way. Let's just put the landing gear away first of all so we don't accidentally knock it off. So this is going to become the feet, or the front parts of the feet as well, and then all the rest of it will start to join together too. So let's just open this apart first, pop these out, pop this side out here too. Right, what we need to do to begin with is close all of these up, so swivel that round as we did to begin with, goes back in there, swivel that around, back in there. These will then fold up as they reverse in how they were taken out to begin with. So all this middle part now we need to start doing our little bits with them. So the hinge, remember, was on this side of it. Oh, don't hit the camera. That rotated up, and now we want to bring this all out here, and then this hinges, goes back in, but we need to make sure that when we hinge it back in, this is out this side here. In fact, this bit rotates up so it's like that, and then that will hinge back in, slot in there. We're almost there with the feet. We're just going to do the other side as well. So remember what we did, that hinge down, round, whole lot rotates up, like that. We then lift this up, and just hold it, and lift that up like so that can rotate round there, and this then goes back down. So the feet, they kind of look like he's going to stand on them like that, but he doesn't. Oh no, it all goes apart like so. We just do the same thing, so we just rotate that up, round like that. And so what he actually now has is, as you can see, a level, once these are about there, he has a level base there. Somewhat surprisingly, the part that he actually stands on is not the silver bit. The silver bit goes out of the way, completely out of the way, down there. He actually stands on this part, and so on this side again, silver bit goes out the way completely, and he stands on that part, and he stands on the rear there. Okay, so obviously the legs are going to have to rotate, or are they? I don't think they are actually. One of the few times when the waist might not need to rotate. So you can obviously see how the chest is going to be. This part will obviously be the arms, and then you've got all these wings to deal with. So now we've got that. Let's start with the front of the plane now. So you have to unplug that. Just unpop this bit again, because nose cone, haven't got it out before, now needs to all go back in. As ever, I'm going to to pull this up here because it's a bit easier to do then. Because these are quite a large Transformers, you kind of almost feel you need another hand, someone to hold it. We rest it on there. This bit is quite fiddly, you've got to try to somehow get your fingers in there to open it. There we go. So that slides apart like that. Those kind of goes back in and then it slides in. So it's as we were before. And actually, now that we've done that, we're going to lift the whole lot up. That goes up like that. So that goes out of the way. This part here will come apart from here. That all slides down. These will slot down. Doesn't matter if it does at the moment. We've got some more to do before we leave it slotted down like that. Oh, we've got a lot more to do. Right, this comes out. This piece comes out too. This bit breaks apart and comes out there. And I was right, it does, it actually comes all the way out. It does all swivel. And they swivel again. So you've got the red parts here this side now. There's still a long way to go. Because we still need to get the wings to the back. The wings do all move. Helps if you have it kind of like that, so the wings rotate that way. Doesn't want to stay that way. I suspect I've probably gone there a little bit too early. This comes down, which will produce where his head is. See, when it goes back up, it produces Octane's head. Let's get the arms out of the way. First of all, and then get this wing out of the way too. See, we are definitely getting there. So you can see inside all the complex mechanisms as to how things rotate, and it is quite a complex mechanism as well. There are lots of parts to this guy to make him all fit together. It all works, it does all fit together, but there's lots of parts to do so. Okay, so these will become his shoulders. There. So now the arms are out of the way, the head will stick up like that. This will then attach to the front here, like so. Still got all this rear gubbins to deal with as well. Excuse me, stuffily a bit there. So this will now go up like that, and it will actually pop in like that, and you can see the hole that it goes in there. This these bits. Yes, now we've done that. Well, these bits here, just put back. Obviously, these come out. They kind of form almost a samurai part of him. Just pop these back. We can leave them out. Doesn't really make any difference. We'll leave them out. Yeah, it's these bits I want to get out of the way. There we go. So it just keeps on rotating round. So the arms go back to the side. Keeps on rotating round. Okay, we are pretty much there. I say pretty much there. We've still got to give him his hands. So this bit comes. You can't really see that, can you? There we are. That bit comes open. And then the arms come out. That goes back in, and that closes. And then you have, oh, don't hit the camera. One arm. Same again. You don't have to open these bits, it just makes it a bit easier to put your hands in. If your hand fisted like I seem to be. Okay. We are there. Octane. And just give him back. Here's the gun. Now the hands do open here, so you can put the gun in and then just close the hands around it. It's a good robot, that one, isn't he? It actually is a workable, realistic. I say realistic, obviously realistic as a Transformer is, version of Octane, one that you're not ashamed to have lying around. You know, the wings still are good. You've got excellent detailing on the head and the face. You've got a proper chest panel. You know, being again, the third party style toy. He's got so much movability, it's just fantastic. Now, say he's not a masterpiece toy, but he's meant to scale with the masterpiece toy, and he scales very well with Optimus Prime here. Not as tall as Prime. You'd expect that, wouldn't you, really? But he does still fit very, very well with Prime. And being a Unique Toys toy, he's got excellent detailing as well. You know, it really is a good version of Octane. I'd have to say the best version of Octane you can get. Not just because the other ones are rubbish, but it is legitimately a good version in its own right. He's got every single form is good. He's got excellent posability. He's not too difficult to transform. A little bit fiddly in places, but you know, compared to Astra Train, he is so much easier to transform. It's wonderful, and the end result is brilliant. Okay, so let's see how he looks compared with the others. Okay, so let's see how Octane compares to some of his contemporaries. If we stick Astra Train here, as you can see, Octane is significantly wider than Astra Train. He's a similar height, though Astra Train is more liable to fall down. Astra Train is slightly taller, but Octane compares very favourably to him. Blitzwing, of course, towers over them both. But again, you know, Blitzwing, perhaps nominally the leader, certainly the tank, literally and figuratively, you would expect him to tower over. And as for Springer, well, we've already shown, as you can see, Springer is similar height. We've already seen how that goes. Obviously he's a bit shorter, but it kind of works alright, doesn't it? Okay, so that's the end of part 2 of the Triple Changer review. Please join us for the third part, and I will see you then. Thank you. Goodbye.